more than a slap on the wrist for all of the things that happened at Michigan that Harbaugh would rather have you, never kind of remember, talk about, etc. And he even said in response to this, I'm done engaging. I'm not engaging. Like I told you last year, I'm done. Well, what ended up happening was the NCAA elected to impose financial penalties and recruiting limitations as part of the final punishment issued in connection with Conor Stallions. Okay. And this is a pretty significant financial, slap on the wrist. Beyond that, it's more than that. It's a big time fine that is over the course of multiple years. What I think this is a acknowledgement that the Conor Stallions espionage, sign stealing, film study, all of that stuff was not above board. That's it. And at that point, there is a bit of a stain on the Michigan national championship run. There is. There's no doubt about it, because if Michigan fans are going to look at the Ohio State championships and say, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? If you look at other championships like Miami and say, what about this? What about that? What about this? You have to look at yourself as well. Now you can say, well, ours wasn't as bad as theirs, but that's really all semantics. And I'm not saying that the punishment is always equal to the crime, because today in college football, the NCAA is as toothless as it's ever been in terms of instituting punishment and policing its sport. But that being said, the NCAA still felt as though this was significant and serious enough to outlay a pretty serious financial penalty. I think ultimately it's the right move, and I rarely say that about the NCAA, to start penalizing programs financially versus taking down banners and revoking wins. That's always been stupid. Let's face it. It's always been idiotic to say what you saw happen on the field or on the court didn't happen on the field or on the court. Never made any sense. In today's college football, college basketball world, it is all about the finances that you can spend on your players, on your staff, on your facilities. That's it. At the end of the day, it's all financial. So those should be the penalties. Michigan should not take down a banner. They should not have to give back wins. There should be no voiding or vacating anything that happened on the field. But if it was a significant broach or breach of rules, then you should be penalized, punished financially. So it does exist as a stain on Harbaugh's tenure, but it doesn't erase the fact that he had unbelievable success there and changed the entire trajectory, perhaps history of that program. To that point in time, they were getting their teeth kicked in by the Buckeyes. And it was so clear Ohio State could compete for national championship and Michigan just couldn't. By the end of Harbaugh's tenure there, the script had flipped, the roles reversed, and that is Jim Harbaugh. You cannot take that away from him. That is what it is. That is foundational, fundamental to what he did at Michigan. So was it perfect? No. And his whole, we only drink milk and eat steak and get our rest, and that's how we win football games. Let's face it, that was always a lark as well. If you want to get on Harbaugh for acting the part when he doesn't really live it, fine by me. Don't tell me he didn't know what Conor Stallions was doing. So that part is real. But what is also real is Michigan doesn't win a national championship without Harbaugh doing what Harbaugh did and flipping that entire organization, the entire program. And that doesn't just happen by sign stealing. It happens from a lot more, a will of Harbaugh. So that's where I stand on that. I think it was right to penalize them financially. It is a stain, but it doesn't erase what he actually accomplished on the football field.